side all you want.
Get off the fence, son.
Which side all you want.
Get off the bench, son.
Which side all you
Who will
want.
stand to defend us?
Which side all you want, my Lord.
Yo, what's up, world? It's your boy Tef Poe, and I'm back with another episode of Let Me Ask You This. I got my mans, my Cody, my partner in rhyme on this mission, my dog Talib Kweli.
What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? What's good? This show is a show that's we're gonna try different things, Tef.
Yeah.
We're gonna take the show on the road. We're gonna introduce you to some of our friends. And today we happen to be in Brooklyn, and we have a good friend of mine. Now, I used to party and go to clubs a lot, and there was a time in my life where if you saw me in a nightclub, you know, I would be in there just disrespectful with the wrong type of shoes, wrong type of hat, you know, do-rags, T-shirts, and all types of, things you shouldn't wear to the clubs. The security and bouncers and promoters get very upset when you do this. And when I was living this type of life, if you see me in the clubs at that time, you see me with my people, LG. I got my man, LG, who represents Brooklyn, in the conversation with us today.
OG.
You know what I'm saying? Make some noise for the OG, LG.
Yes. It's a pleasure to be here.
No doubt. Thank you for
for
joining
having
the
me, bro.
conversation. Absolutely.
Absolutely.
No doubt. And of course, we got the homie, the stromie, a good friend of mine and a friend of the show, Nicole Duncan Smith is in the place
what's
to
up,
be.
y'all? How you doing?
What's up, Nikki? How you feeling?
Pretty good.
The hip-hop historian. The stuff I learned off camera from this woman is astounding about the culture.
And I learned it all from Kweli.
All of it. Okay. All right, sure. All right, so there's a lot of things I want to talk about today, but I want to start with, I was watching Mike Epps' special. Shout out to Mike Epps. That special is very funny on Netflix if you haven't seen it. He starts out with a couple of Donald Trump jokes, and one of the things he says is that, he says, street niggas love Trump. And he says because, he said they drug dealers, he crooked. They crooked like him. So I want to start this episode of Let Me Ask You This, but let me ask y'all this. Can we unpack that? What do you think he meant by that, and is it true?
I think there's layers to it, right? But I think most importantly, let me ask you this. How are we defining what a street nigga is in 2026? Because from where I'm from, a working class town like St. Louis, Missouri, a street nigga is a person that's got to deal with child support. They might be living place to place for real. They trapping to as a means to make something happen. You know what I'm saying? They are an underground rebel to the system in the sense of they might not be able to work a job. They might want a job but can't work a job, or they might want to live a certain lifestyle, but there are restrictions blocking them from being a part of the Commonwealth versus nowadays what I see people on Instagram defining a street nigga to be kind of is like these rappers who already got money, they got a pipeline of getting their money from a corporation, so they get to get on camera acting like they got it from trapping or scamming, but you know what I mean, you got a W-9 for real, you know what I'm saying? So like they get inflated with the times and the followers and all that shit, and they start thinking they Nino Brown and Scarface. So yeah, what is a street nigga in 2026? That's a real question. You know what I'm saying? Because the streets was a lane for people to make a way out of no way, and Donald Trump don't know nothing about that for real.
I think they I watched on the internet them blaming black men and Latino men and Palestinian protesters for the rise of Donald Trump in the second election. That was interesting to me because still overwhelmingly black people, black men included, voted for Kamala Harris or voted against Donald Trump. It's interesting to me that the marginalized people who are most victimized and most targeted by this administration are the ones that still get the blame for what's happening.
Let me ask you a question. Are they getting the blame because they're saying that they voted for them, or are they getting the blame because they're saying their success or their energy of being there is promotes for white folk to go and vote for this man.
I think, you know, when you see those memes online with it, when they be like, people have the signs at the protest, and I support all the protests, the No Kings protest and all these things that they doing. But when you see people with signs like, we would have been at brunch if y'all had voted for Kamala, it's cute. But what you're saying is just stay complacent. And it's the same people who are like,
Oh, so they're saying they didn't vote at all.
no, what I'm saying is that the people who criticize these people, it's the people on the left. Is really white people on the left that's making these criticisms. Well, if it wasn't for, you know, black men and Latino men and these Palestinian protesters in Dearborn, Michigan or whatever, they got it down to a specific city that they blaming. You know what I'm saying? And I think it's because they don't want to take responsibility for what the history of this country is and what this country actually represent. They want it to go back to normal. And normal for them was before ICE was shooting white people. Normal for them was before they could pretend to not have to deal with January 6th or deal with whatever Trump is thinking. I'm gonna take over Greenland or whatever the fuck is going on up there. Now it's in their face, and they're not used to having to accept accountability. If the majority of white people in this country voted for this guy twice by the majority, that's who we are. That's who represents them.
That's right.
You know what I'm saying?
That's right.
Yeah.
In the same way that Nicki Minaj gets to go up to the White House to see Obama and gets to go up to the White House to see Donald Trump, the mainstream of America sees her, whether we like it or not, as a representation of our culture,
That's right.
of who we are.
That's right.
Which is insane.
Insane.
You know?
It's crazy because my daughter's 26, and shout out to Eden. And her friends had this conversation. They really believed that they live in this post-racial society where we're all equal, right? Mm-hmm. She's a Gen Zer, right? And I had to tell her, especially like with Donald Trump won 45, I had to tell her, when I was a kid, there were certain neighborhoods in Philadelphia I couldn't go into at a certain time because they would chase you out. Mm-hmm. And this is not like 60 years ago. This is like in the 80s and the 90s. Mm-hmm. In the 90s, I remember a little girl walked up to me and was like, Mom, it don't come off. Talking about my color. Mm-hmm. And I was afraid to say something because I was in a white neighborhood that was known. Pennsylvania had the second largest Klan population, right? Those people went into hiding. Y'all thought them people were gone. And they're watching someone like Amy Dubois Barnett become the first black woman at the helm of Teen Vogue. They're watching Oprah Winfrey get 2 networks on and the old one before then. They're watching all of these. Then they see Barack Obama, regardless of his politics. They see him in his spaces, and they're like, they're taking over everything. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And it made, to me, that's where it came from. All the people we thought magically disappeared. Mm-hmm. This point 2 is really them saying, nah, we're not going. Like, Make America Great Again has always been make these Negroes quiet again. Mm-hmm. Shut them up. And so on the flip side, you got white liberals. So I was a part of the whole Win with Black Women stuff that weekend when Kamala came out and we raised all that money in one day. Mm-hmm. And then everybody was like, white women, we want to have our night. And then it was all these other nights, right? Mm-hmm. When you look at the polls, the exit polls, black women, number 1. Who's number 2? Black men. Then you have, white men. Then you have Latino men. And then the lowest are the white women. And then you think about it, the people that voted for Biden, that all didn't come over to Kamala. Who were they? Those white women that voted for Biden would not vote for Kamala, right? Mm-hmm. So it's interesting to me that they're walking around at these free kings things. We would have been at brunch. You know who would have been at brunch? The black women. We would have been at brunch if people just actually did what they act like they were going to do. Mm-hmm. Right. If they actually did it. So they'll tell us, oh, I'm going to vote, whatever. But then at the poll, they'll say, nah, I just can't bring my stuff.
Let me ask you this. I got a real question that I feel real people ask themselves but never have the opportunity to ask in certain spaces. How much of the bullshit street agenda in rap music today is the FBI and the fucking CIA? How much of it actually is? Like what is the percentage of that shit? Like that, like I believe today that's probably the real new COINTELPRO. Like how much of it is accelerated by these guys not having no political education, not having no revolutionary aspirations for real, not having no political center, no politics. So it's easier to pull some bullshit off on that demographic of people.
Yeah, you kind of hit it on the nose with that one. There's a lot of factors that come into play. You could point the finger at the FBI, but you could also point the finger at like the record labels and anybody who has the power to bring these kids in. When I say kids, you know, it's us at a certain age. They only want that, you know what I'm saying? And they also want that with, you know, ignorance of the music business as well. So that way, not only can they rape them economically, but, you know, they're going to have them promote the things that they want to promote. They actually already doing it, but they want to promote it from our perspective pretty much for free. So, yeah, it's a lot. I wouldn't just say the FBI, though.
Right.
Like, I wouldn't just, you know, seclude it to them. I would also put a finger at the music industry itself.
So, God, one of the hip hop summits. You said you was a kid at one of the hip hop summits. Fat Joe was an audience, and Fat Joe, because this has been a narrative since the '90s that the record labels are making our kids or our artists say things and do something. Fat Joe stood up and said, "I never was in the studio where somebody said, make it more niggery." Make it more hip, get it more grimy. And I don't know if it works that way. And there's just this mythology.
Yeah, that's never been my experience either. I have had experience where I know for a fact because of the music I make, they not pushing it and they not promoting it.
So that's happens.
And I have had where, you know, they try to encourage certain types of singles in terms of like something more for the club or for the ladies because they feel like in capitalism it's easier to sell that than you know the rebellious stuff I'll be talking. That's definitely true, but that's to me it seems not just because I'm not justifying it, but that to me is a function of capitalism that exists across the board. It's not specific to music.
So I don't think. Go ahead. I'm
just
sorry.
Still on that. So the idea that the record labels may be signing more ignorant shit, but we know guys on the block that just want to talk, girls on the block that want to talk about, I'm going to rob them, I'm going to set them up. We know people like that in life, right? So that music, art imitates life, right?
That's
so
why
there's
I say
those
you
people,
can't
right?
necessarily blame the FBI. I wouldn't point the finger at the FBI.
That's my point.
Fat Joe and his see, you don't got to tell Fat Joe to act more niggerish. He's coming in free will to do it. That's where the system wins. He's
niggerish of his own accord.
Of his own free will. So when whoever sees now Fat Joe sell, be prosperous, and, you know, get a name, that's how you do it.
And you look at what Fat Joe, in his maturity, you know, his maturation in hip hop, his content is different than what it was back when he was.
I think Quas said in one of his rhymes, become 40 years old and become conscious.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, every rapper who makes it, every street rapper who makes it to 40 becomes conscious across the board. Because you start to review your life.
You start to review your life.
You make it through a certain amount of generations where you can actually see the repetition, the pattern, and then you like, you know, see your place in it and try to like make that shift.
I am sure that Nicki Minaj, who I've never met, don't really believe that all these immigrants need to go back, you know, all of the Trump agenda. I think she don't know it. I think her
don't know
desire
it is
to
it.
be,
Yeah.
Her desire to be in proximity of what she think is money.
Y'all think she don't know what?
I think you said not to cut your wisdom, Nikki, but you said political education earlier.
Okay.
And that's what not just Nikki, but us as a people are suffering from a lack of. Nicki Minaj, I feel like she's definitely lacking political education. I'm not saying that as a judgment. I'm saying that as a in my opinion, like an observation in my opinion. She might be diabolical, bro. Like, you know, we was talking to the homie last night, and he was saying, you know, he was pointing out the fact that she is comes from immigrant people, and she is someone who was, you know, presents herself as a capitalist. She was about her bag, bro. And you know, I was at the White House, the Obama White House, when he had a meeting. We was up there for criminal justice reform, or prison reform, and he had ASAP Rocky was up there, and Busta Rhymes. A lot of people was up there at this meeting. And Nicki Minaj was sitting next to me. She was eating Starburst, and I don't know if it was Starburst or Now Later or something, but she was just in there, just being hood as she didn't give a fuck.
Nicki Minaj arrived here as an undocumented immigrant, and according to the BBC, she's getting her citizenship now.
I heard that that's not. Is that happening? Because I heard.
I don't know.
They said that card
BBC,
is
gold-
I'm hearing that gold card was bullshit.
I mean,
look. If okay, here's a question. If that's true, do we and everybody here, I feel like is anti-MAGA. I don't think we have any Trump supporters sitting here, right? But if that's true, do we respect that hustle? And I'm gonna qualify that question. John Forte, we were talking about John Forte, rest in peace, was let out of jail by George Bush. I respect it. You know what I'm saying? And I'm biased. I'm stating my bias. That's my people. Jim Brown, I respect who Jim Brown is to black people. He's a friend of Trump. When Trump, I'm speaking out of pocket. When Trump was elected, Jim Brown went up to see Trump. Mom Donnie, the mayor of New York City, he went up to Trump and got a bag for the city, right? So Lil Wayne, the speculation is that they paid a certain amount of money. So
Kodak
Black. So if this was a whole play, is Nicki diabolical? Is she a hustler? Is she smart? Or is she just MAGA and we should just dismiss her politics?
I think that there's more things. Each of those situations that you named all have very different reasons why they engaged Donald Trump.
Right, but they're all situations in which I feel like the community at large
and
excuses their
and
those.
for me-
But I also think that Nicki Minaj's alignment with Donald Trump is because she's so trying to be the polar opposite of Cardi B, who
you feel like it's part of that.
That is a good point.
it's
Back to battle rap.
because they're always arguing. And they literally right before this they were going back and forth. And I think that as Cardi B became a Democrat darling, I guess.
At the level where Kendrick and Drake are beefing, right? And I've heard all different types of takes. Some people, there's a lot. Most of the world says, you know, Drake deserved it. That's what the narrative is, right? And there are people who have said that Kendrick shouldn't have been accusing him of pedophilia if he didn't have proof. There's all this back and forth about that. Tef, I'm asking you, how much of that do you think came from those two men, and how much of that do you think was influenced by outside factors?
Well, I'll be clear. I was one of the outside factors on that. Not like I know any one of them guys.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But as an underground rapper, I got an agenda to see the dude who I feel best represents me win in that scenario. And for me, that battle woke up certain things that I feel like we forgot about, because both claims never had to be true in battle. Like, if we battling, I never had to come with no damn fact sheet. Like, nigga, we battling.
That's what they said in court.
I'm gonna drop what I gotta drop to get out of this situation. And what I think people don't recognize about a battle that's on that level, that's that big, them dudes is playing high stakes poker. So like, both sides got some idea of the big hammer that the other side is trying to drop. So now it's about, okay, nigga, if you come in with that card, I'm gonna come with this card. But I'm waiting to see what card you want to play, because if you want to play with me like that, I'm damn sure gonna play with you like that. But if you want to just do this the old-fashioned shoot 'em up bang bang way, then we could do it like that too. But if you come with that particular card, homie, I'm coming with one as well.
It comes from two guys that didn't like each other. They ain't liked each other for a long time, right? And this was a great way for them to express it. And Drake was with it. Because he was putting
Not
out.
only he was with the shits, he dared that
That's
man
the part
to
we
come
gotta
outside.
applaud him on if we keep it in
No.
hip-hop.
Let me, but
'Cause he
but
walked
this,
to the line.
but
He
this
did.
where
He
we
dared
don't
that man to
applaud
come
him.
outside.
Once he got punched in his mouth, he started crying.
Yeah.
And so and because how dare you? There is a level of, and this is systemic. I don't think that there's some these puppeteers in the background. There is a level that he skated in because he's biracial, he's light skinned, privileged. Some days
I mean, yeah, Kendrick leaned on a lot of that in the music. There was just a case just now. The dude was just arrested because he made up a fake AI band and he had the bots and he made, like they said, $10 million. And they arrested him for that, which I'm glad they arrested him for that. But hey, man, he figured it out. And if that guy could do it, Universal was definitely doing it.
Yes.
And the thing that confused me about Drake, I'm not all in Drake's pockets or Drake's lawyer. I don't know the ins and outs. But the thing that confused me as an outsider looking in is that, yes, of course they did that for Kendrick because they did that for you. They do that
Yes.
for everybody. Why wouldn't they?
That's what the Kendrick and Drake battle represents for me as an artist. The dude that y'all didn't expect to have the guns and butter got the same guns and butter you got. Like Crazy Bone said on the song with Master P, I got the same thing that you got, so it all depends who got the sharpest shot. That's where we at.
It's so funny because if you just fast forward just a little bit, you're looking at every hot headline. Drake made history beating the Beatles, the most number one singles in the and he's
what I'm
on his
about to
jet
ask.
and he's on and on this and he's paying the battle rappers. Like he's doing everything but throwing the money around like, look at me, I'm it, right? And what Kendrick did was say, your look at me, I'm it, don't matter. What do you mean it don't matter? And literally, so forget about the bots and all of that. You can see this man so upset because what he thought mattered in this culture didn't. And then no matter how many people you got on your sides to try to throw shots, the Rick Rosses, all the other little things, none of it mattered because there was something authentic about what Kendrick did with They're Not Like Us that resonated with. Babies are singing it. And sure, you played it a lot, everybody gonna get it. But it was people that was like, I heard it in speeches. I heard it in sermons. It was everywhere. And it was allowed him access to be in that Super Bowl and do a very, very pro-black thing that never saw before. So,
Yeah, it's definitely a net positive no matter how we look at
it's
it.
a net positive. And but it also, Drake has not, he put an album out and people said it was a great album, but he's never been who he was before that.
You about to say?
Yeah, I think I'm gonna say something crazy. I don't know if y'all gonna agree, but with everything she said, and I do agree. I think right now people would still rather hear Drake in the club than they would rather hear Kendrick.
Oh, for sure in the club.
In the club, it's not even a question.
even
I
a
was
battle.
just
So
I was just
what
in
has-
Miami.
What has really taken place?
And
like,
they
he's
it
been
was like this
dethroned
battle
and
never happened.
still- Yeah, you see what I'm
It's
saying?
like it never
He's
happened.
been dethroned, but is still on the throne. Only now. This can happen now.
But I
day
think
and age.
this is what makes this battle intriguing for me as a hip hop head, because I think about what you just said. I think that's a very provocative point. And I think about the past kind of kings we've had of the hip hop kingdom and how they've had to kind of navigate this moment. Where it's like, okay, I just did a big thing that caused a lot of static shock in the culture. And moving forward, things are kind of not the same. But there's some momentum that I kind of got to ride to a certain destination in order to stabilize me as the guy. And I don't know if we have quite seen that all the way through yet.
You're not supposed to always stay on top. That's just it. You're not all, and that's why Lauren said this to me when I worked with her on when we was getting ready to put out the miseducation. I was part, But what she said was, we got to strike while the iron is hot. So if you want to do a clothing line, if you want to do this, or you want to do the things, granted things got derailed, but the idea was we're popping right now. What do you want to do? Let's make our dreams work. Because this not going to be here all the time. And sure enough, her star wasn't there all the time. Even everybody has their time at the top. And it's what do you do there? And it's arrogance. It's not entitlement to think that you're supposed to always be on the top.
So you know who didn't think they were supposed to be in the top according to his new record, J. Cole? You like that segue, right?
Yeah.
J. Cole said, my apology, dropped me out of the top 3. Which, Tef, you and me was talking about this the other day. is a bold thing to say on a record.
Well, I think he said big three.
The big.
Okay.
So I think
But we know what-
the big three probably they try. Maybe they're defining the big three differently than the top three. I don't know.
No, we knew who they were. The big three was Kendrick, J. Cole, and Drake.
Yeah.
And that's
So-
why the argument, this thing
I mean,
started.
for me, the
Have
top
you
got to.
heard-
As
have
long
anybody
as
heard-
Jay Z
y'all
is
heard-
alive,
y'all
how
heard
is
his new
anybody
project,
bigger than
J.
Hov?
Cole?
Some of it. I don't know.
So did his? Are y'all the type of people who feel like J. Cole apologizing made him less of top three or out of that conversation?
No.
Or was he even in your top three? Just start there.
From what I saw, I think it is weird. But even though I think it's weird, in my own way, I think he did what he wanted to do. When he didn't join the battle, I think that's what he wanted to do. He could have, and I personally think here we go. I think Cole is much nicer lyrically than Kendrick, hands down. And if there's any kind of battle amongst the three, I'm definitely putting my money on Cole. So it's not like I don't think he could have handled himself. I think he just chose to do that. What's to me funny is now it's like he want that smoke, or it's like he want to I don't know, throw some gasoline on the fire that they got going on over there. And it's awkward, but I don't knock him. If that's what he want to do now, he can.
I respect a man that stands on his business. And he said, I don't want to say bad things about people I like. I don't want to get in that. And it got super nasty. And he said, I choose not to. Right? And I think the new album is more or less explaining, but then saying, let's get back to the bars. Right?
Shout out my man Felton Brown at Dreamville. I feel my personal take on the Cole thing, y'all. I think he is an interesting MC because he is so ambidextrous that he can slide in that spot where, okay, you need a person who could really rap and make some club music to be on the ball now. He can do that. And then also, I think what could happen here too is now that I'm a more mature MC and I'm out the house living life, we all got to remember people got real relationships with people. And I think he was on a quest to prove a point at a certain point when he went on he's a student of the game. So he started doing different features and stuff and cementing his legacy as a ferocious, real premium creme de la creme MC. And we all know, when even in the underground, the bellies of whatever city you in, when you're trying to lay the smack down, things get shaky for a little second between you and different people because now you're not just being complacent and letting the top dude kind of just remain in that spot. So you announcing yourself as a challenger or a contender for the throne. And I think all of them guys are getting older and everybody's looking at Legend Island. And they are legends right now, but you got the super legends and the people we consider the permanent gods of the culture where we can't even debate their spot. And I
But
think
we do all the time.
we do. But
we don't put them in our top
But I
five.
think these guys are trying to shift a corner in their careers and see what it takes to achieve the real Hall of Fame, not just the Hall of Fame that we kind of give you just for being good for 10 years, the actual thing that cements you for real on planet Earth. Yeah. And I think in that quest, you're going to have, that's not a peaceful quest for an MC. You know what I'm saying? But also, we discount the fact that Schoolboy Q, it has been reported on the blogs, went to Cole and said, hey, this is going to go somewhere else. So it ain't like he said, yo, I'm out of this because of this, and this. He had an inside track word from a person he knew saying, hey, fam, they going to throw some accelerant on this.
I got to state my biases. J. Cole's one of my favorite people. He shouted me out on a couple of records, on a couple of his big records. I also am someone who I've always stated that I feel like apologies, a good apology, a righteous apology is the cornerstone of civilization. Tabling the fact that civilization is a weighted term, but you know what I mean. Think that Cole is very comfortable. I'm very excited about this new project. I like the way he sounds. The way he's rapping is amazing.
Too.
And I think he's just trying to rap. That Diss 2 song he got from the new project it's people. I don't think people really are catching like how he's Benjamin Buttoning it, like he's rapping about his life backwards. But beyond that, he's keeping the same
Insane.
Rhyme scheme.
Yeah.
I think it's earth and church and for the whole song. I'm telling you, as an MC, that's difficult to do for that many bars, and also do it with a narrative, and also do it with a narrative going backwards. So I think to your point, he's trying to show with a song like that like this is high level rap shit. You know how I know Cole's unbothered? Cause I saw Cole being unbothered. I was touring with De La Soul. Shout out to De La Soul. Rest in peace to Dave. Thank you, Dave.
Peace, Dave.
And I came off the road, and it was in Manhattan. It was this last summer, right? It was a week. I got to the hotel, but I was gonna go to Brooklyn because I was like, I don't need to stay in the city. Go into the hotel. Go into the apartment in Brooklyn, and I'm in the car, and it's a beautiful summer night, and I'm driving down Broadway, and I see a dude on a bike, a tall dread on a bike. And I'm looking, I'm like, that dude looked like J. Cole. And it was J. Cole. And he had on like sweats and a t-shirt. And he had like a bag of groceries, like bananas and strawberries and shit. And he was on a bike. It was like midnight.
Wow.
And I rolled down the window. And I was like, what's up, Cole? He's like, oh, Kweli, what's up? And pulled over, and he gave me a hug. And you know them votive candles? He smelled like votive candles from the store, like the hotel lobby, and it was good. I was like, I smelled it on my hands. Pause.
Yeah, you gotta stop. Somebody said, smell like a candle. Trying to let it all slide.
Pause is political
Chino,
out
please.
east,
That
boy.
whole thing right there.
You can't even walk out that door. You don't
Mute
see
it.
it.
Redact the whole thing.
Stoned.
Redact all of that.
I say all that to say,
Oh,
this man seemed to be really, really enjoying the fact that in the middle of this big moment with Kendrick and Drake, that he could just buy groceries in the middle of the
I
night
bet he was.
on his bike and go back to his amazing smelling apartment.
I bet he was, bro. But here's the other crazy part about this whole scenario. No, he hasn't really talked much about it. Everybody is really kind of justifying or quantifying the situation for him. You know what I'm saying? But you had a question. I'm gonna let you.
Oh yeah,
let you cook.
your question. I'm sorry, Nikki.
What's your rap genealogy? I would see Cole as one of your sons, but who are you a son of? Like, if you could say who's your genealogy above you and below you.
My rap genealogy.
Yeah.
My
Like, start with the one and then up and then up.
my most direct influence as an MC is there's three influences, but the most direct one is Karis One.
yeah, I knew you was gonna say that.
Karis One is the MC that I draw the most inspiration from. I'm a student, he's the teacher. Talib means student in Arabic. He is the teacher. You know what I'm saying? So it's like it's a symbiotic thing there. Q-Tip.
That's dope.
Q-Tip as an extension of the native tongues, but really I'm from the native tongue school of making music. So Q-Tip, because I relate to the quirkiness and the appearance of shyness and the having a voice that's people don't necessarily associate with doing hip hop, being jazzy, dressing different. I related to all of that back in the days, but really, even though I related to all that, I feel like I am closer in spirit with De La. Maybe because De La for me, De La was first. Maybe I think because De La was first. So it's Q-Tip and then the native tongues by extension, Pos and Dave and Jungle Brothers and Busta and all of it. And then there's Ice Cube. Throw Ice Cube in the mix. Ice Cube in the early NWA stuff and the America's Most Wanted and the Death Certificate and the Killer Will. Those eras of Ice Cube in particular was how fiery he was, how political he was, how connected with the streets he was, how loud he was, how brash he was, and how ill his pen was. Ice Cube's pen was so ill that it couldn't be contained in hip hop. It had to get to movies. You know what I'm saying? Like his pen is too grand. So it's like if you mix the fire and the pen of Ice Cube with the political and the sort of Brooklyn Jamaican live wa da da energy of KRS, with the jazzy, laid back, mellow, sort of natural cultural consciousness of native tongues. That's what makes it my style.
So like Karis One's your father, and your cool uncles are Q-Tip and Ice Cube.
Yeah, maybe Chuck D has to be thrown in there somewhere.
I see Chuck D. I
Chuck
see
D. Chuck D. Be hanging out with my father.
Chuck D is older than Melly Mel.
Yeah,
It's crazy. And so who's below you? Like your
Below
children. Not
me?
below you, but children.
Oh, I mean, either way, people who came after me as artists.
We're talking genealogy. So
Genealogy. I see a direct for me. I see Cole and Kendrick. I see Little Brother. I see Blue in Exile. Who else do I see that's like what I could see?
maybe not lyrically, but definitely politically, Vic Mensa.
Yeah. Vic Mensa's politics align with mine. I'm not sure that where he grew up at, how he grew up.
He's from Chicago. Right?
Yeah, how he came up. I'm not sure if Vic Mensa. I know Vic Mensa knew my music, but I'm not sure he came up like listening to Reflection Eternal. I don't know. He might have. Vic Mensa's always shown me a ton of love and respect, though. One of the greatest things I've ever done in this business is go to Ghana for the return festival that Vic and Chance put on. And Vic and Chance both were heavily involved in it, but it was due largely to Vic's connection to Ghana. And the way that Vic has parlayed his experience in the music business and his fame and his love for the hood and his love for fashion, his love for rock music and all the shit he be loving, the way he's parlayed that into his movement, into movement work, is impressive.
I don't
And
think
it's very
he get enough
polyish.
credit.
Yeah, I like Vic.
I don't think he get enough credit. Like maybe even if we don't know the music, maybe if his music is more niche than other people's music, the way that he has been able to kind of do exactly what you said. And I started kind of watching it from on the sideline perspective a long time ago. And you've seen him gradually take very serious stances against things.
Absolutely.
Like very.
Starting with academics. Really, I want to smack the shit out you.
And even when it ain't popular, right? Because people might have been looking at him
I
like,
love that. I
who
love
the hell is
I
Vic
love
Mensa?
that. He was early with that.
To
He
me,
just
that's
wasn't ready
what
to say
makes
that
it
back.
rock and roll for me, is that like it in the scale of his biopic, he decided to make sure he got some moments in there. You know what I'm saying?
I seen a video of him redoing Brown Skin Lady with Aja Monet. It was
Shout
beautiful.
out Aja Monet, world class.
It was beautiful. Yeah.
Because you're not on social media like that. Have you seen the orange thing that he does?
No.
So every day, every couple of days, he's in his backyard and he goes picks an orange, and while he's unpeeling the orange, he's critiquing the administration.
See, he's smart like that. This guy's smart like that. He understands the algorithm and everything. Let me ask y'all this. Since I got two brothers and a sister from different walks of my life, this is a question that I grapple with, and I don't know if I know the answer. Ride or die. Do you I think most people, if you ask them, would you ride with your homies no matter what? Most people say loyalty is loyalty. Like, I'll ride with you no matter right or wrong. We'll ask questions later. Is that on code? Or should we be riding with people based on the fact that they do understand what the code is? Like, I'll give you an example. I ride with y'all. I ride with LG. I ride with Nicki. I ride with Tef Poe. I ride with y'all because I feel like on certain key issues, we are aligned. We on code. We're not going to agree on strategy. We're not going to agree on tactics.
You know
We're
you're
not
answering
gonna
the question right now. You know you
I'm giving
are.
my perspective. I don't want to hear your perspective.
Is my perspective.
You know what I'm
'Cause
saying?
we
Like,
ride with each other.
But the reason why I ride with y'all
Because you know
is
it's
because I
time it
know
is.
y'all gonna be right.
Exactly.
That's why. That's a part of it. If I thought that maybe you wasn't gonna be solid on certain key issues, and maybe that's part of the discussion what the issues is, What's the line? What are we allowed to disagree about?
I could tell you what, I'm not getting in the car with nobody like that. Like if I don't feel like you a part of a certain mindset, I'm not putting myself in a situation where the code is even in question. The code
That's it.
is gonna be all in its own. Like the code is there for who like either gonna cross it or not cross it. I'm riding with Qua riding with me, like, and the
I
rest
think-
of the crew. Like that's how I'm moving.
That's what I'm responding to. I think I think maybe what I'm critiquing as crystallizing as I ask the question is what I see as a general lack of code and people staying
Hell
on
yeah.
code.
Hell yeah.
And everybody code don't got to be the same.
That's
But-
the problem. Everybody code ain't the same. So you got a car full of dudes, and they think that they all whatever
No, I mean
fellow is.
Code and core.
every crew code don't got to be the same.
Yeah.
But everybody, your crew, the people in your inner circle, y'all should be on code.
That I agree. I agree with that 1,000%. But
I recently had somebody in my inner circle that I considered like one of my best friends on the phone with Shorty like all the time, giggling, girly, right? And then something came up that put us in the same space, almost like if she was an enemy, right? Like we could get this, like we both had an opportunity to get the same apple, right? And and it was 2 apples. She was mad that I got an apple too, right? And so
that's rough.
it is rough because it's somebody I loved, right? But I realized it was a meme on social media, but then it was the same concept was said to me by someone else. If you have a friend that becomes an enemy because of a disagreement or a misunderstanding, that friend was always an enemy. And so going to this idea of code, there are sometimes there are people in the car with you that you just know are code. But then there are things in their core that you might have a blind spot for because you rock with them so well, so tough, so tight, that you missed it. And then you get hurt. And it happens a lot. So I'm the type of person that I will stand with you. If I believe in you and I know who you are, even if you make a mistake, I got a lot of grace for people, right? If I see at the core who I know what this is, I'm still with you. But then there's times we have blind spots.
Yeah.
And then we get hurt. And hurting shows that you're human. So I'm not afraid of the hurt. The hurt says you're alive and that you know how to love. But it's still out there and you can't get it. And it's,
Yeah.
I think, again, that's a layered question. Because I've had moments as a political organizer where assuming that everybody understood the code the same was a mistake.
that's the mistake.
Because the code could be the same, but the translation from person to person could be so drastically different. You can get yourself in a serious situation.
Yeah.
So my energy that is reserved for my energy that's really real is reserved for real long-term relationships. People that I have had the chance to watch for a while, people I've had the opportunity to observe, folks I may have been friends with, and we came to disagreeable moments and could still be friends through the disagreeable moments, like weathered relationships. Because for me, those have been proven to be the best test of who the person is and what the person is. And I think sometimes we have to put on different hats. So like there's a hat I wear that is a organizer hat. There's a hat I wear that's a rapper hat. There's a hat I wear that's a teacher hat. Each of those hats is going to utilize or define whatever the code is differently.
Wow.
And I think across the board sometimes we make the mistake of kind of like itemizing who we really are to be like these singular versions of self. So people say bullshit like, I'm the same nigga in every room. I'm not the same nigga in every room, bro. Because every
Are
room,
you code switching?
Are you?
I'm not saying I'm code switching.
Is that behavior or core?
But when I go see my mama,
That's right.
I am not Tef Poe the rapper. I'm my mama's son. You know what I'm saying? And that's real. That's so the code I'm on
That's
with
just
my
being
mama,
observant and respecting the surroundings and moving accordingly. Which is
the code I'm
optimal.
on with my mama
Yeah.
ain't gonna be the code I'm on with y'all. You know what I'm saying? I might go harder for my mama, in all honesty, than I'm gonna go for some people in the industry. That's reality of the situation.
Yeah.
So my question is that behavior? I think that I wear a lot of hats, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm a mom, somebody's daughter, somebody's sister, somebody's preacher, I'm somebody's boss, like a bunch of things, right? My behavior is different, but if you talk to all of them, there's a consistency in my code, right? They all be like, Nicki this way. She talk a lot. She thinks she know everything about rap music. She loves some Jesus. Like there's certain things. There's just I show up everywhere that way, even if my behavior might change a little bit. It becomes problematic for me. It would be problematic for me if Kweli was different sitting on this couch than if I saw him in a supermarket. Or if I saw, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
And while the behavior does change in different environments, at the same core, I could look at him and see, and he could look at, you know what I'm saying?
Yes.
So
I'm speaking on a more kind of exaggerated version of the code.
okay.
Admittingly so, like thinking about it in the sense of there's levels to the game, right? There's like you just said, us at the grocery store. You like, damn, dude, you gonna act like we wasn't just kicking it for a couple of days? Like, what the hell you on, right?
Yeah, keep the same energy.
Then there's the neo-Nazis looking for individuals kicking the door. Are you gonna keep it 100 with guns aimed in this bitch and say, do you know Talib and Tef Poe? Opportunity to live or die. Do you know us? Can I be assured in what you're gonna say? For me, that's a finite group of people.
See, the person that shakes when they in the supermarket, they gonna shake with the guns. Like it's something in you, and I'm not saying that everybody deserves you to give their life for, right? But if the neo-Nazis jumped in here and they was like, "Tell me where."
I know that sounds crazy.
Y'all
to
seen
even say
this?
it. I'm sorry.
I mean, things happen. I believe that I'm the type that I just wouldn't tell nobody. Like I'll be sad about it, and I'll be, whatever. I might even be crying, but I'm not gonna give it up.
So let me ask y'all this: did Kanye mean his apology then?
Then he got an album coming out. Like I know.
Man, we get Kanye apologies annually, man. It's like tax season.
I said that to somebody else. He just
There's
apologized
no
not
way
too
to
long ago.
prove-
He didn't mean that one?
There's no way
You mean
to
this one?
prove whether he means it or not. But I think a good question is, does it really matter?
Does it?
Like after a person shows you so much, like what more do you need to
Well, I mean,
see other than him?
I think that obviously I'm people look at me and think that I'm too anti-Nazi, which is I'm proud of, but I think that Kanye, what I read, that seemed very well put together. So whether or not he meant it or not, it was a smart apology in my opinion.
Yeah.
And whether or not it's like it's rolling out the album, all these things line up, but I just think it's interesting to me because this is the first time that whatever him or his team put that much thought into it. Before it's just like on Twitter, like, oh, I'm sorry, I love the Jews. Now this one was like, you know what? I've hurt people. I've been bipolar. It's a full page ad. It was slightly different. I'm stating my biases again. I'm interested in where that goes.
I think it could lead
Yeah, that's
to a
the
situation.
problem, man. Being interested in where it goes.
I'm biased. I'm
He's
of course
one
I'm
of the
interested.
I think
world's-
I'm interested in where it
also
goes
loved
too.
that man at
I'm
one point.
interested
Like
in
that
where
was
it
your
goes.
friend. So there is a part of
There's that
Will he
and the
grow?
fact that he's so. What he said in the apology, he said, "My voice and the things I say and do have global influence and impact."
Yeah.
And that's the part I'm interested in as well.
And so you said it earlier. I don't think, as smart as I think he is, I don't think he wrote the apology.
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying? So therefore, if he did not write the apology,
So now we know it's not him.
you know what I'm saying? It's the actions, yo. Like I want to see him do the things and not just have a publicity thing where he's going back to Chicago and feeding the children or whatever. Did he pick up the phone and call you? Did
Call
he
me?
call? Yeah, call you.
Oh, no,
call
I'm-
John. Like John Legend. Like the people that he like. Did he pick up the? Because to me, even if he
point.
picked up the phone and you
I mean,
never answered.
I've spoken to Kanye and spent time with him since those disses.
Oh.
And we've had conversations about that in private situations. I still don't. I still think he was whack for a lot of that shit. And but yeah, it's like what Kanye's been whack about is so much bigger than what he said about me. It's so much bigger, right? So I don't spend hardly any time thinking about what he said about me. It's more like the Nazi shit and the White Lives Matter and all this type of shit.
If you like Kanye for anything other than him making some good music, or if you're into the fashion that he produces, if you like him or you follow him for anything other than that, it's your fault. He never came in the game telling you he was a political, knowledgeable individual.
He said,
never came in saying that.
"Why you think me and Dame cool? We assholes.
My man
He told you.
We assholes."
He told you all of the things that you needed to know, and now that he got bread and got some kind of power comes in different forms. So a lot of attention, popularity. So that's power. Now he got that. So now you want to listen to him talk about political stuff. Now you want to listen to him talk about what you should be cooking for dinner.
Yeah, I'm never going to
This dude,
be
I
a
don't want to
Kanye
hear.
fan
That's
again.
why most people, you can't get to me,
One
man.
of my,
I only want from you what I first heard you do. Like you all right, good. You sweat. If you're gonna segue into anything else, you're gonna try to give me something else cool. It better be dope. It better be as dope as the. You know what I'm saying? First thing you gave me.
One
You
of
never
my,
gave me any dope political advice, Kanye. When I saw him,
The man put on a Ku Klux Klan
This dude-
outfit
Hey,
on.
not wrong.
He'll never get no love from me ever again.
So my guy GLC, one of the first dudes in the music business to even give me any type of look, credit, do songs with me for free, videos with me for free, shows for me, pennies on the dollar. Like I got a real deal, close relationship with GLC. I can call him right now. He probably gonna pick up the phone.
Shout out to GLC. That's a good dude.
shout out to Jill.
When you see
GLC, what up, man?
when you see Ye getting himself together, G always with him. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes you can have a relationship with a person. Like I've never met Kanye West. I've never been in the hemisphere meeting no Kanye West. But sometimes you can have a relationship with a guy that makes you kind of look at the situation from afar, just differently enough. Not saying that I see it too much differently than the average person in the public, but on certain things they were doing, like with the Hoover situation and certain conversations that they were having that might seem kind of strange politically, I know certain people around him well enough to know that there was some good intention behind it. Now, what happened once it hit the curtain, who knows? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. Shout out to well, thank y'all for paying attention to us talking on the internet. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to everybody who's watching. I know we supposed to be saying click like and subscribe or some shit like this. I don't know how to do any of that. Just if you fuck with a nigga, fuck with a nigga. You know what I'm saying? Like I don't like to beg you to pay attention, man. They like
cornball vibe.
if you've been watching this
Please
long,
like and subscribe. Hit the like button.
if you've been watching this
Subscribe
long,
here.
you fuck with a nigga and you are appreciated.
And we got shirts, merch down there. Buy that
Yeah,
too.
man.
But we do got merch.
Yeah, go to
buy that shit for
qualityclub.com. Go to Black Star Bandcamp. Go to blackstarnofeartime.com. Tef, what you got?
Man, follow me on Substack, man, and holler at me on the gram. We'll figure it out from there.
Yeah, Black Star on Substack too. Shout out to Aaron. Shout out to Chino Chase. Shout out to Brooklyn Brewery Studios. And this has been. Let me ask you this.
Another one in the can, y'all. Stay tuned.
Yes.
Got big things in store.
Yes, peace.
Yeah. You ever seen a Bentley with a bullet hole? If you ain't finna use it, what you pull it for? All shit, sick of the soft shit. My spit, I be that raw shit. My shit, obviously, hollow caustic.